The Revenant is a new movie about a raven and... Stupid! The Revenant is a new movie directed by Alejandro González Iñárritu, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Hardy, and Domhnall Gleeson. The movie is based on a true story about Hugh Glass. Hugh Glass in this movie is played by Leonardo DiCaprio, who in real life and in this movie was attacked by a grizzly bear and left for dead. He travels a great distance through the wilderness to get his revenge. The exact distance isn't really known. It goes anywhere from 80 miles to 200. But he does travel a long way, especially for a man that was mauled by a bear and left for dead, to get his revenge. This movie adds some more layers to him, trying to give more reasoning for his revenge, but it is based somewhat, at least, in reality. This movie is really amazing to look at. The cinematography is great, and there's lots of long takes. If you saw Iñárritu's last movie, Birdman, you wouldn't really be surprised with that. That movie was made to look like an entire one long shot. And it was amazing. This movie, I think, outdoes that because not only are you doing long takes, but it's just stunning landscapes and all of its natural lighting. One of the long takes at the beginning of the movie is particularly impressive. It's a fight scene, or I guess almost war scene, between Native Americans and the settlers, or I guess fur traders in this movie. The way the camera goes through the battle, the different special effects, and everything that's done seamlessly to make you really feel like you're there and feel like everything's really happening in real time. It's really amazing that they could pull off so much. As I'm sure you've heard by now, the acting is great in this movie. Leonardo DiCaprio does deserve that Oscar nomination, and hopefully he finally gets his Oscar. It's really an amazing performance. For a lot, or maybe even the majority of the movie, DiCaprio's alone, and so he doesn't really have anybody to act off of. He doesn't get to say too much. That's got to make it so much harder to really convey the emotions that he's going through, and he does a great job of it. The only person I could think that probably does a little better in the movie, even, is Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy essentially plays the villain in the movie, although it's not like a mustache-twirling villain. He has reasons for what he does. You kind of understand what he's doing. You sympathize with the guy. But Hardy is great as well. Another actor who does great in the movie is Domhnall Gleeson, who's really everywhere this year. He was in Ex Machina, The Force Awakens, Brooklyn. He plays kind of like a tough guy, a character that he's never played before. And it was nice seeing him try something different and actually pulling it off quite well. If there's a weak point to the movie, it might be the story, or specifically the ending. The story is very basic. It's a revenge tale, and there's nothing wrong with that. Revenge movies can be really awesome. Man on Fire, for example, is a great revenge movie. With that being said, the ending of the movie can be a little unsatisfying for some. I liked it. I didn't love it. Compared to the rest of the movie, it wasn't a high point for sure, but with so much going for it, that maybe slight slant down at the very end doesn't really do much against it. The movie is stunning. I can't really explain it. Just go see the movie. It's amazing looking, all shot with natural light on location, looks fantastic. It's really immersive. You're really sucked into it. Great movie again. The Revenant is rated A. So being that The Revenant is a revenge movie, name a revenge movie you really like. As I mentioned, Man on Fire is a great revenge movie. Or revenge thriller, I guess. Denzel Washington has never been more kick-ass than in that movie. And it's very raw and violent and just awesome. That's really, like, that movie is what The Punisher should have been. They should just make a Punisher movie where Denzel Washington just plays, just remake Man on Fire and put a skull on his chest. And there you go, you had the best Punisher movie ever made. So again, what's a revenge movie you really like? Make your mark below in the comments section. Please like, share, and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Contrary to what the internet will have you believe, Leonardo DiCaprio does not get raped by a bear. It was consensual. As I mentioned, Iñárritu also directed last year's Birdman, which was a very good movie in its own right, and Keaton just kind of blew that performance out of the water. But speaking of Birdman, there's an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia from season, I believe, 10, which for most of the episode has one long shot, music very similar to Birdman. It's an homage, I guess, to Birdman, and it's hilarious. It has great setups, great payoffs, and definitely worth checking out. It's on Netflix now, and I think on Hulu too, so if you have either one of those, check out the episode. You won't be disappointed.